Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Supplemental Saturday and Sundays. You know what we do here on Supplemental Saturday and Sundays. We review all of the additional things we do on the weekend to help energize us for the week. Because sometimes the P in PMO stands for people. And before we can take care of our people at work, we have to take care of ourselves. So we're going to continue with this theme of energy. And more specifically, what are the things we do on the weekends, in the morning, at night, all the things around work, after work, before work to increase our energy levels? Because you can have the best plan in the world, you can have the best product, the next best thing since peanut butter and jelly. But if you don't have the energy to consistently bring it to the marketplace and iterate, you're not going to be able to succeed. So last time we reviewed a test that was based around your blood, your saliva, and your stool samples to determine, based on your RNA, what's actually happening inside of your gut, inside of your stomach, and a whole suite of tools that recommend foods that are actually good for your stomach, good for your gut, and supplements designed just for you based on your blood, stool, saliva samples based on your RNA. Today, we're going to be covering some generic supplements that you can take in no specific order. I'm going to go through them. You can see some of them on my screen right now. And we'll be talking about the benefits. Now, as always, I am not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just a regular guy, no different than you. And having high energy levels so I can execute for my team is very important to me. I can't expect my team to follow me if I'm exhausted and I'm tired and I'm dragging my feet all the time. So I take a lot of supplements that help me. Now, some of these supplements you guys are going to be aware of. Some of them will be new to you. Some of them you may agree with. Some of them you won't agree with. As always, I encourage an active dialogue. Please feel free to comment, to reach out to me, to let me know what you think, if there are additional supplements that you take or more specific things. All of the supplements we're going to be reviewing today quickly, and you can drill into each one to get more details if you like, or you can reach out to me. But I would recommend that if you want more details on these supplements, ask a nutritionist, ask your doctor, do a little bit of research, look on a GPT, and get more details as to why I'm covering these. Also, I'm covering all of the supplements that I personally take and what I would call the generic ones. In other words, if you have a specific issue or something that you take specifically just for you based on a diagnosis or just based on how you feel, that may not be included in here. That doesn't mean that it isn't a good supplement to take. It just means I try to get most of the generic stuff. So we'll be going through these in no specific order. I'll make some recommendations. And as always, guys, let me know what you think. I hope these help your energy. So first off, let's start with instructions for taking. You can't go to the gym one time. You can't have a healthy meal one time. You can't get some fresh air and sunshine on your face one time. And then for the rest of the year, say, oh, I'm good. I took my vitamins this month. I'm good. Vitamins and supplements, and most of these I consider to be like vitamins. These are things that I take every day, twice a day. So to that end, there are certain supplements that I recommend taking in the morning, and then there are certain supplements I recommend taking in the evening. But regardless, all of these are taken with a meal. So some of these are taken at breakfast time, and some of these are taken after dinner. So let's begin. Creatine. This is creatine in a powdered form. This creatine can be used in a lot of different ways. If you're someone that exercises, if you're a runner, if you're a weightlifter, if you're a swimmer, I recommend taking creatine before you exercise. Personally, I mix this in with my energy drink that I make in the morning. It's sort of like a play on coffee. It's not really coffee, but it's like a play on coffee. And this I mix into my quote unquote coffee every morning. Let's go to the next one. This is a 10 and 1 mushroom mix. Now, the other great thing, and the reason why I'm showing you all these different supplements inside of an Amazon shopping list is because there are certain supplements that I will buy in bulk at Costco because it's just more value. There are certain supplements that I'll go into Whole Foods and get because I think that they have stuff there that they just do a better job in terms of the testing and organic. And there are certain supplements that I will buy off Amazon. For the purpose of this video, I'm showing you everything on Amazon, and I'm showing you everything in Amazon that's either rated as a bestseller or an overall pick or a top rated. Obviously, I have no affiliation to these brands. You should feel free to pick whatever you like. And I'm not saying that I recommend any of these brands. Once again, I selected the supplements that I think are good for your body, good for your brain, and I selected the overall pick or top seller based on Amazon. So for the mushroom complex here, you can see the different types of mushrooms, such as lion's mane, reishi, turkey tail, chaga, and this is another thing I'll mix in my quote unquote coffee drink in the morning to help wake my brain up. I feel that it gives me more sustainable energy throughout the day and it helps me to focus. And I don't have the crash that I have with coffee. So you can see more details here of all the different types of mushrooms. It looks like there's 10 different types of mushrooms in here. It's lab tested, GMO free, and USDA organic. Okay, next we'll move on to collagen peptides. This also happens to be something that I mix in with my morning drink. Collagen peptides are very good for your joints. They're good for your skin. They're good for your hair. They're good for your nails. And they're a good source of vitamin C. These are grass-fed, and they look to have over 20 grams of collagen peptides in here. And you can see the breakdown. Also some hyaluronic acid. Okay. Now, once again, guys, I'm going through these in no particular order. I'm just showing you what I put together in this health list for you. And I can share this with you as well if you like, or you can take a screenshot in the video or reach out to me. I'm happy to send you these lists. Once again, I have no affiliation to these names or brands. I just think that the supplements that I'm recommending here would be good for the majority of people to help with their energy and vitality. So next, we're going to be looking at a bestseller probiotic. I take this probiotic in the morning with food. Once again, all the supplements I recommend taking with food, whether that is with breakfast or with dinner. If you are someone like myself and you do intermittent fasting, where sometimes you don't have breakfast and your first meal of the day is lunch, then I would recommend you take these supplements with lunch and with dinner and you skip breakfast. There are certain seasons throughout the year in which I do intermittent fasting. I do not have breakfast. I'll have lunch and dinner, or I will skip out on dinner, and my first meal of the day will be lunch, etc. As always, speak to a dietitian, speak to a nutritionist, ask your doctor. But the moral of the story here is take a supplement with food. So you see 10 different types of strains of organic prebiotics and probiotics. Helps your gut, overall wellness, digestive health, immunity health. Okay. And you can start to see some of the different strains here, like lactobacillus. Definitely recommend this. Okay. Moving on to Bragg's apple cider vinegar, raw, unfiltered with the mother. This is old school. This speaks to the level of pH in your body, which is important, where you think about a scale of alkalinity versus acid. And you may be looking at this thinking, Well, isn't apple cider vinegar super acid? It may taste very acidic, but when it comes into your body, it actually helps to alkalize and clean and flush out everything in your body. So what's important here is that you go organic and you go the one that is with the mother and you have the USD certified organic label. In this example, I do personally love Bragg's. Unlike the other things we reviewed, I'm indifferent. I'll pick the bestseller. I've been using Bragg's apple cider vinegar for years. This is one I recommend, but please feel free to use what you think is best. The important thing is raw, unfiltered, organic with the mother. So how do you take this? Once you're done with your supplements with food in the morning or for lunch, you do a shot of this and then the same thing in the evening. So it's one shot in the morning and it's one shot in the evening. So you say, well, how much is a shot? About 4 ounces, maybe 6 ounces. 6 ounces a little on the heavy side. I take like literally like a shot in a shot glass of this. Okay. Speaking of alkalizing in the body and detoxifying, this is a powder. This powder is from Garden of Life. It is a green superfood. And let's look at some of the different things that are in here to help alkalize and detox your body. It's hard to see here because the label is so small. Let's see if we can make this a little bigger for you. You're going to have things in here like barley, alfalfa grass, wheatgrass, lemon juice, ginger root, spinach, turmeric, dandelion, radish, beetroot, flaxseed. So this is really great for your body to keep those alkaline levels to help your body flush out any toxification. I take this after my morning coffee drink. So when I'm on my way to work, I will mix this in about 8 to 16 ounces of water. In the summer, I'll do ice water and I'll just put one little organic stevia raw packet to make it a little sweeter. Okay, nitric oxide. Let's look at this. So this is a nitric oxide powder. This powder contains organic beets, pomegranate, and red spinach. This is for healthy circulation, for healthy blood circulation, and for energy. It says here heart healthy, and it is super good for your heart, but it is not only good for your heart. What it does is it helps your blood flow in your body. Just show you some of the different benefits here as I scroll through this product. Okay. And you can see here the breakdown of the different vitamins, and you can see that there's over 400% of vitamin B12 in here. So when do you take this? I actually replaced, for years, I was doing Diet Coke, and I stopped doing Diet Coke, and I replaced this instead. So in the afternoon, when I'm feeling that slump about 2:30, 3 o'clock, I will take this powder, once again, mix it with either some sparkling mineral water or some spring water with some ice. Maybe sometimes I'll do, once again, one of those organic raw stevia packets. Sometimes I don't need it because it is a little sweet because of the beets. And this helps promote energy, promote blood flow, and it's good for that afternoon crash. Okay, moving on to the next one. Garlic, good old-fashioned garlic powder. This is good for your overall body's immune system. It's good for blood flow. It's good for your heart. I take this at night after dinner. Turmeric and ginger. Okay. Excuse me. So as I'm showing you here on my screen, you can see the different breakdown of what exactly is in here and the amount per serving. This is super good for fighting inflammation in the body. Some people believe that without any inflammation in the body, there cannot be any dis-ease, or with the proper levels of alkalinity in the body, you can't have acid, you can't have dis-ease in the body. And turmeric and ginger are two of those supplements that help to fight inflammation in the body. The black pepper that they include here just helps to activate some of the properties in the turmeric and the ginger to help with absorption. That's why it says things here like 2000 more percent absorption. Because it's so good for your inflammation, that's why it's saying here it's good for things like your joint and your brain and your heart, because if you don't have inflammation in these areas, that's why it's saying it's better for support. Okay, I also take this in the evening after dinner. NAC, free radical protection, maintains cellular health with selenium. You can see the breakdown of the amount per serving here. Lab tested. NAC is a free radical. It is an antioxidant that maintains your cellular health. So some people will tell you, and as always, please check with your doctor, with your dietitian, that if your cells are not getting the proper energy, then you will feel tired, you will feel sluggish, you will have dis-ease, you will have inflammation in your body. So this is one of the 2 or 3 supplements that we'll review here that help to maintain cellular health, antioxidants and free radicals. This is another one, NAD plus with resveratrol. Do a quick view here. Cellular regenerator, NAD plus, transresveratrol, coursinogen, longevity, energy, oxidation, fights oxidative stress. Helps with heart, healthy blood pressure. And what I'm trying to do here, if you haven't already caught this based on viewing my screen, I'm trying to, for each product we review, to give you a quick summary and overview as I scroll through that product with my screen zoomed in at about 120, 150% zoom, so you can see some of these products' features. This is something that I will take in the morning after breakfast with food. And once again, I have no affiliation. This is a great brand for supplements, this Life Extension, but I've chosen for the purpose of this video all of the Amazon top picks or bestsellers. Please feel free to pick whichever one you like best. So this is a magnesium complex. And what's important about this magnesium complex here is that it has over 5 different types of magnesium in it. So some folks you talk to will tell you to take this version of, magnesium citrate versus glycinate, et cetera, et cetera. What's good about this is it has over 5 different types of magnesium in it. So you have a complex, and you can either take this in the morning or in the evening. You can choose whatever you think is best. I take this in the evening after dinner. What's important about the magnesium is that it works really well with vitamin D3 and K2. So I will take those together. So whether you take it in the morning or in the evening, you want to take them together with vitamin D3 and K2. And you don't want to only take one type of magnesium like citrate or glycinate, which are two very popular ones. This is a complex with over five. I think it has six types here, six different types of magnesium for your body. And then this is vitamin D3, K2. I'm going to go back there because I wanted to do the quick view, not the whole view. Okay, this has over 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3, which is a lot. Um, most types of vitamin 3 don't give you this much. This is a really great brand of D3K2. This is not only an Amazon seller or top pick, but if you're a follower of Dr. Berger on social media, he is definitely someone that you want to pay attention to. Extremely intelligent and extremely informative. So your body uses vitamin D3 and K2 for all types of stuff here: energy, vitality, cellular health, immunity, joint health, heart health. The important thing here is that with your vitamin D3, K2, you take that with your magnesium complex. They work very well together. I can guarantee you that you have a vitamin D3 deficiency. I don't care how healthy you are. I don't care if you live in Florida and you're in the sun all day long. A great source of vitamin D3 is the sun. Most of us are deficient in vitamin D3, which is why it's so important to take this. So before we go on to the next one, just a note on deficiencies in supplementation, if this is the first time you're reviewing one of my videos. In prior videos, we reviewed rigorous blood testing results with over 50 different biomarkers. We reviewed results from testing your saliva, your gut, and your blood tests, and other ways of testing and brands that actually tell you where you're deficient, what you're deficient in, and what you can take. And in fact, one of the videos that we reviewed, the Viome microgut biome test, one of the outcomes of that test is it will create a custom compound exactly for you, giving you your body exactly what it needs. And if you're interested in that, you should check them out. My only affiliation is that I'm a customer, and from a product perspective, I think they do a great job. So with all of these supplements, it's important that you supplement for the sake of what you're deficient in. Most of us, I would say, are deficient in vitamin D3, K2, and magnesium. Also, the supplements that I'm looking at here today are general enough that they will be beneficial for most people. However, if you have a specific deficiency, you should supplement for that deficiency and not supplement just for the sake of supplementation, but supplement for the sake of deficiency. So now we're going to go into the next one here, which is a methylated multivitamin. Hopefully everyone knows that a good old-fashioned multivitamin, this is stuff that folks have been taking for 50 years. Your parents, your grandparents have been telling you. Nothing wrong with taking a good old-fashioned multivitamin. The problem with most multivitamins is that the way that they're made with the fillers, the things in the multivitamins actually can make you sick. So this is a very clean multivitamin, once again, an Amazon overall pick or bestseller. But not only that, it is methylated. And the reason why that's important is if you take a gene test, and that's a video we will do in the future where we review a test that actually looks at our genes to see if we have any deficiencies. There's a gene called the MTHFR gene, sometimes referred to, and I'm going to curse here, so please feel free to hit pause, the motherfucker gene, which is a good way to remember it. And all that that means is that your body doesn't break down certain types of vitamins, and this supplement will break them down before you so your body doesn't have to in the event you have this gene deficiency. And you can see all the different types of vitamins that are here and the daily value percentage. Okay. So same concept here with the Super B complex with C. So this is a great way to get all your different B vitamins in a complex with C, once again, methylated. So the two things where methylation is important is in your multivitamin and in your Super B complex with C. And there's that gene I was telling you about, that MTHFR, the one where I cursed to help you with that mnemonic, to help you remember it. It helps me remember it. You can see all the different, as I scroll through my screen here, all of the different things here that it supports and where it's good for your body. How I think about my Super B complex with C, how I think that this helps me is just, I think this is just with overall energy. I find that I have more energy throughout the day when I take this. This is something that I take with my multivitamin again in the morning with food. Okay, coming down to the last item on the list here, and this is a fish oil. Once again, an Amazon bestseller, top rated pick. Please feel free to, use whatever brand you like. Personally, I get really good omega-3 fish oil in bulk at Costco. There's just a couple things I look for to make sure that it's a good fish oil, and I buy it in bulk. I get great value. But for the purpose of this video, every single supplement, every single vitamin here that I put inside of this list is a overall top pick or a bestseller on Amazon. Please feel free to buy whatever brand you think is best. But omega-3 fish oil, what's important here is the EPA and DHA fatty acids. Another good thing about this fish oil is that they're saying it's single source and it's from wild Alaskan. Scroll through just to show you some of the benefits here. Okay, and you can see the amount per serving breakdown. None of the ingredients have things like oils or canola oil or soys or things like that in there. And that's what I meant earlier about looking through your supplements to make sure that they don't have things in there that are actually that can actually make you sick. So this is a super clean, really good fish oil, which is what you would expect when over 50,000 people have reviewed this and given it 4.7 stars. Which is another reason why I think if you're not sure where to buy your products, where to buy your supplements, going with Amazon top pick or best rated is a good option until you start to say, well, my doctor sells this, so I'm going to get this through my doctor, or my gym or my health club has this and I like it, or this supermarket, like I mentioned with Costco, has this. So until you get a feel for that stuff, you can go right here. And you don't have to stick to the same brand. So, for example, this turmeric and ginger with the black pepper in it, I'll buy this. And if in a couple months from now there's a better one that's better rated where customers are saying, they're giving it a higher rating, I'll go with that instead so I can diversify where I'm getting this from a manufacturer perspective. That also limits my risk in that if one manufacturer gets it from a specific place and maybe they don't do their metal testing as rigorously as someone else, or maybe where they get their ingredients from, there was some sort of contamination or something, that helps me to diversify to know that the supplements I'm getting are super clean. Because remember, we're taking these supplements to supplement the food that we're eating and that we're getting the right vitamins and nutrients in our bodies so we have the energy to execute for our projects and our products. The last two supplements we'll look at are one is through Life Force, and then the other one I'll take you through last. So we did a video reviewing Life Force, and I'll just give you the summary. Life Force is a service that you can virtually speak to doctors, endocrinologists, dietitians. They'll give you a whole plan. They'll test your blood every 3 months, every 6 months, whatever you like, and they'll give you things that are broken down just for you. They also sell some generic things. You should definitely check out their website. One of the generic things they sell is something called Peak Health Span, which is a combination of what I'm showing you here on my screen, which is just it's a good overall supplement. So you can see there's vitamin D3, niacin, B12, copper, NAD3, beta powder. All right. I'm not going to read all the ingredients. You can see them on my screen here, but this is a really good, just overall generic supplement. This does contain a lot of the things we already covered in the Amazon cart. So, you don't want to be redundant and overtake these things. You can replace it. I don't, I did this for a while. I don't do it anymore just because I find I don't need all of this, but this is a good overall supplement to get a lot of the things that I showed you in the Amazon cart. If you wanted to maybe not have to take so many different supplements, this is one. Peak Health Span. Another one which is good is Blueprint by Brian Johnson. Um, if you haven't seen his Netflix documentary, check it out. Once again, guys, I have no affiliation with this stuff other than I'm a customer and I'm a fan. Um, but this guy really takes a data-driven approach, spends a lot of money on his own time, on his own dime to test different type of ingredients to create a really rigorous health and supplemental routine to maximize his energy. And one of the products he sells is something called Longevity Mix. And you can see some of the different ingredients here in this longevity mix: L-theanine, vitamin C, taurine, magnesium citrate, and calcium, just to name a few of things that are in this longevity mix. Once again, it's redundant based on not all, some of the supplements we covered in the Amazon cart. So those are three options for you guys when you think about your supplements. You can purchase different things through here. You can purchase bundles through Life Force or Blueprint or any other provider that you and your doctor or your dietitian or your nutritionist you feel comfortable with. But my hope and my goal here for you guys today is that you take away from this that you want to feed and fuel your body and your mind so that you are maximizing your energy. And you can take a little bit of time each weekend to think about this stuff to set you up for the week. Because it's going to be very difficult to lead your team if they're only following you because they're fearful that if they don't, they won't continue to get a paycheck. For you to be an effective leader, you need to be able to transfer that energy vibe to your team so that they feel confident that you can lead them to the promised land, so to speak. And if you're exhausted all the time, you're not going to be able to do that. Now, supplements alone are not going to help you with exhaustion, but what they will do, they are one data point, they are one component in the overall formula for your overall energy, health, and vitality, which is the purpose of these supplemental Saturdays, where we talk about all of the additional things we do. So I hope you appreciated this opportunity to look at each of these supplements in detail that we reviewed on my screen. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to give you this list, or if you took a screenshot. As always, For anything here that you're not sure on, talk to your doctor, talk to a nutritionist, do some research. And for any additional things that you've been told that your body needs, you can take that in addition to. If you have any particular health conditions or allergies or anything of the sort, any nuances, obviously check those nuances versus anything in here. So, for example, for this nitric oxide, which is extremely good for blood flow, which is beets, pomegranate. If, for example, you are allergic to beets, this would not be something that would be for you, which is why we reviewed the ingredients for all of these supplements. And I would recommend that you do that again before you take any of these supplements. I hope you appreciated this opportunity to think about your energy and vitality. Welcome to Supplemental Saturday and Sundays. Remember to hustle harder, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye.